I'm Brian Jodas. I'm 42 years old, and my F3 buddies call me Hello Kitty.
And I'm Jamie Roseborough. I'm 40. And my friends call me Rapido. And this
Oh,
is the F3 Circle of Trust.
yeah, it is.
From the worldwide studios of F3 Nation.
I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
This is the Circle of Trust, connecting the men of F3 Nation through fitness, fellowship, and faith.
Andrew Maggio, 35, Wirebiter.
Mike Kiriko, 35, Saganaki.
Saganaki. Peter Ranky, 63, Bambi. Jim Chicola, 47, half day.
The Circle of Trust starts right now.
Shut up and sit down.
What's up?
What's up, man?
Man, what's up? What's up, F3 Nation? Your boy Hello Kitty and Rapido saddling up once again for the weekly news dump of the F3 Nation known as the Circle of Trust. My brother, you are in your Masters Green. Welcome to Augusta. Hello, friends.
My competing Masters
unlike
green.
Any others.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got the official visor on, but the green shirt is some old PGA shirt I've had for years. But anyway.
Nobody was going to know the diff. You look.
They'll see it. They can see it. I can see it. They can see it.
Did you have an egg salad sandwich for lunch?
No, pimento cheese, though.
There you go.
Wonder bread.
I got to
Duke
tell
mayo,
you,
pimento cheese.
I'm a little sadistic because here's me today. Got a lot of meetings.
You know what that word means, Brian?
I think I know what it means. Let me explain how I'm feeling.
Okay.
And then if I'm off, then you can tell me.
Okay.
I think it means you take joy in other people's pain. Am I right?
I think that's a pretty damn good definition. Yes.
So I was stacked up with a lot of meetings and events today. And I was really relishing in the fact that a lot of people who were going to be playing hooky from work, watching golf all morning, weren't able to because there was a slight rain delay. So I was taking some joy in that misery. And I'm a bad person. I get it.
Because you were inconvenienced with your own schedule. Is that what I'm hearing?
Because my own schedule was not set up for where in which I could have just sat there for the first few hours of the Masters and enjoyed. Now I know it gets better over the weekend, but there's something special about that Thursday at Augusta for all of our golf friends.
Right.
Which is
right.
Good.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to get in my coverage today and tomorrow and then a little bit Saturday. But like you mentioned, life's crazy. A lot of things happen.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a stacked weekend in the Pedo household.
Same here.
And so it's like I'm going to have to watch it at 2 a.m. on record, I think.
That sounds delightful, I suppose.
I can't
listen.
Wait.
We've got it's quiet, calm and quiet. We've got a stacked show here, man. We got a lot to get to on this fine day.
I saw the show notes and I just kept scrolling.
Scrolling. Yeah, we're going to have the Nantan of F3 Nation join us in a matter of moments.
Yeah.
Mark Helmet waiting in the wings. And obviously we've got you, Pax, joining us here across NGBN TV and all the platforms where we are broadcasting. We're on the F3 Facebook page and YouTube channel as well. And don't just watch us today, but if you're watching us on demand, share this across the F3 Nation, share it with the Pax in your region. Remind them every week the boys gather together to talk to you and to talk about you guys.
That's right.
And to bring you into the fold. So you go to ngbn.tv, you click on the Circle of Trust show. There's a red button right there. Join the show live. And in fact, we even have guys join live from staff meetings. I mean, that's where we're at. We had that happen just last week.
You are the show, so you might as well go ahead and hit that button and jump on in.
That's exactly right. And you can, as always, if watching on a social media platform of your choice, you can provide comments. And what I'm hoping is, if he's willing to do it, we're going to do a live Q&A with Helmet. So guys, watching.
Taking questions from the
we're just gonna take them to the limit. So that's what's going to happen here. All right. What do you think?
Okay.
You think that's a good idea?
I do think it's a good idea.
I do
Who's going to triage the questions?
We're just going to see what happens.
We're
going to see what happens. Listen, before we talk about the amazing sponsors that make this program happen, that team up with us here, let's take a look at where we're at. We've got an expansion update as this F3 globe of ours continues to grow. I mean, this thing is just, man, look out everywhere you look. You got workouts all over the place, 373 regions across 6 continents and 18 countries. over 4,500 free workouts worldwide, and we're nearing, if not surpassed. I bet that 93,000 number. I mean, it's up to date, but boy, I feel like it's 100K at
I
this
think we
point.
need it. We got to start planning for that 6-figure threshold, don't we? We got to do something.
Something's happening, bro.
Maybe
Something's
somebody
happening.
does know what something's happening. There's a lot of people above my pay grade. I'll just put it that way.
Well, when you're at the bottom of the pay grade, Mijo, there's plenty nowhere to go but up at this point.
Well, the
which is
world
good.
needs ditch diggers
That's
too.
right. Man, before we talk about our sponsors, I was in my feelings today because I woke up after getting a little sleep, and then I realized my guy here was queuing the Bradford's Ordinary.
Pretty sure I saw you hit a hard commit button.
Did I?
Yes.
Shoot. That was a lie. That was a flat out lie. Just a
We had
bold-faced lie.
us a whale of a time this morning.
Bold
around
face or
downtown
bald
Cary.
face lie? Is it bold face lie or bald face lie?
The vernacular as the may
I think
depend on
it's-
what zip code you're in.
Oh, a regional thing. It's a regional thing.
I don't
Max,
know. Bald.
Max, we're
I
going to
feel
need
like
to know bald or bold. I think both could work.
I feel like I've heard both, so somebody's wrong.
Okay. Interesting. Someone's going to look it up. Don't you worry.
Intuitive, but bald seems like something random that the English language would actually.
Well, and they
throw
would
out
have
there.
said, right? You know, if a man was lying, he couldn't hide behind his beard. I'm making this up, but that seems plausible. So it's a bald face lie. I don't, somebody, don't worry.
Hide
Someone will
behind
be
the
Googling.
beard. Where'd you come up with that?
Well, that's how I live my life.
That's good. That is pretty good.
Oh man, let's thank some folks who are helping us here and believing in what we're doing. Start with our friends at Mud Gear. Man, exciting news around the world of F3 as Mud Gear and F3 are teaming up with some even more exclusivity, and Mud Gear is going to be the official sock partner for all things F3. But we've also got a code for you to save when you go to mudgear.com, and it is code COT. And you can get that going, and you can save a little cash on your mudgear.com purchases. Man, they're doing good stuff, and we're so thankful for them as always. Best socks in the business. And I just got a brand new pair of like a black dark camo shorts, which is pretty awesome. So thanks to the folks at Mud Gear. And we've got a partnership with our friends at Momentous. They provide supplements and other products, not just for men, but for you guys specifically. Man, vitamins, supplements, whey protein, all that kind of good stuff. I've got it in my cabinet. Creatine from them is excellent, nice and clean, makes you feel good. Same thing with the protein and all the other stuff you might need. Go to livemomentous.com, code Brian J, and you can save some cash there as well. And our friends at Warrior Biz Network, you'll hear from them in the first commercial break. These guys setting up a business directory for F3 men. The code is COT when you go to warriorbiznetwork.com. Let them know we sent you. Dave Bradley, what's up? Good to see you. Hey, man, thank you. Part of the NGBN family. Showtime. Rubio knows what's up. Good to
Love
see you.
these cross-pollination of these shows, hopping in the show. That's what it's all about.
Well, that's exactly right. And you know what? And we got to witness a real locking shields effort this past weekend as the NGBN April 6th Equip Ourselves to Save a Life event aired for the very first time ever, a pair of back-to-back 2-hour training sessions hosted by former Army Specialist Craig Hannum. And boy, we had watch events all over the F3 Nation. I hosted one at a barbershop. You co-hosted one down at a dude's weekend at the beach. So let's take a look. You know, we saw some photos come in, which was really pretty cool, of these different watch parties. Texas, the guys in Texas popped up there, and they had a good group of high impact men that were all gathered around to watch. The guys in New Jersey had a pretty cool setup, like watching from a dude's driveway, looking into the garage with a big screen going. So Scar, you and those guys, thanks so much for sending that along. Here's what it looked like in the barbershop as we had guys. There's Red Baron sitting in a barbershop chair, Bronx Bomber in the house, Coco Crisp on guard, a couple of other guys in there as well. We had donuts and coffee. Cool spot, man. Cool setting to hang out in the barbershop and do that. I didn't grab the one of you guys at the beach because I didn't know if thered be any contraband sitting around. So I left that picture out.
Listen,
and then the boys in
don't assume. Okay.
And the boys in Charlotte checking in. Gotta give thanks to Forge and those guys. They had the conference room going, and there was actually a bigger group than that, but we grabbed that screenshot from there. And just neat, man. Neat to see the F3 guys get in. Look, here was the goal. One, continue to raise awareness around this thing where men are doing the unthinkable, but the one thing we can't undo. Get you some talking points, get you some things to look, listen, hear for, and to ask. And then to keep this conversation going, I thought what Craig did a really nice job was presenting you a lot of those scenarios and things to be thinking through. And hopefully, honestly, this is just a launching off pad for the men to be able to get energized, inspired, and then leaning in their local region.
Absolutely. Yeah. Ran through some slides, ran through some scenarios, did just a lot of talking from the heart and head knowledge. Right. And so I think I heard an upwards number of like 60 or 70 watch parties that we were aware of across the nation, and literally tens and thousands of people tuning in. We don't know exactly how many views, but I think we're very close to that goal. Sounded.
Yeah. You know, we had big lofty goals of training 100,000 people a day. Did we do that? I don't know. We'll know soon enough what that viewer count was like. Can we cause one less suicide tomorrow? Absolutely. Can we do one less the day after that? Right? Can we keep chipping away? Can we also get these highly accelerated, motivated F3 men even more tuned into this? And if at minimum, you know what? I saw some things in that presentation that I can be looking for across the gloom. I can be looking for across my family and my community. Right. That's I think a big key to it, my friend.
I agree. And some of the verbal triggers and cues that people just automatically spit out when you ask them how they're doing or talking through something, and just some of the things I think was really a key piece to sort of take away from that among a lot of other things for me. So I need to go back and probably rewatch it again. We had like 20-ish dudes watching at the beach.
Nice.
Everybody was tuned in. I had cooked some ridiculous Rapido burritos that morning.
Rapido burritos has a nice roll to the tongue.
Chorizo Rapido burrito.
Oh man.
So the boys were full and hearts were full. So I think it was a well worth everybody's time. And I'd highly recommend folks go watch the recording if they haven't already.
Yep. Well said. I'll tell you what, we've got the Nantan waiting in the wings. Why don't we make way for Dark Helmet?
Have you notified Lord Helmet?
Yes, sir. I took the liberty. He's on his way.
Make way for Dark Helmet. All rise in the presence of Dark Helmet.
How long before that you're like, guys, please stop? Is today the day?
No, definitely not. No, it's not even close.
Not even close. No.
So we can.
I was like, you cut it off that early?
Yeah, that's right. Well, we hold you to a high esteem, amigo. And he doesn't have the best, entrance from there. It sort of falls
that's a
apart
fair
for him.
point. Yeah.
So our thought was, we'll make way. Everyone will be in reverence,
all rise,
and then you can just come on in here and all.
I'm going to need some music. We're going to have to work on that.
We're going to need to work on. We'll have Max work on your entrance.
The music is a key piece. That's true.
That's right. My brother, good to see you. You know, one thing, I don't know that we talked about this a few weeks ago. And honestly, it was not something that I had remembered much from your past. But
I would rather you not bring it up. I have a feeling.
Some files remain
classified. I'm connecting us back to this effort with NGBN and this Equip event and the work that you had done in that space before that I found pretty interesting as we were kind of talking about it the last few weeks.
Yeah, no, I that is true. In fact, as you were talking about that just a minute ago, I made a little note to make sure that I indicated that yes, in fact, you're correct, Senor Kitty and Senor Pito. That this was a launching event. This was hey, let's raise a little bit of awareness. Let's raise a little bit of give a few actionable items, but really use this as a way to continue to raise the awareness and raise the skill level of the men out there that are on the front lines. I was trying to remember, as you said it, what the term that he used, not first responder, but it was like first something. You know what remember what I'm talking about? I think it was some other word that he used that I thought was
first identifier, maybe
something
first
like that.
identifier.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yep, well said.
And so to have an army of those out there would, I think, be very, very important. So with that, yes, it is a launching point, and yes, I did have a background in that my undergraduate and graduate studies were both in psychology, and I worked in an emergency mental health clinic for just under a year. Answering phones and talking people off bridges and all that kind of stuff. Wow. And then realized in very short order that I would kind of looked and I was like, oh boy, this is very intense. And in about 15 years, I'm going to be completely burnt out on something like this. So I kind of looked ahead and said, I need to get out of this business before I, before I get too far down the road and can't turn back, right? So we moved to some other things, but yeah, it was part of my way that I earned my way through graduate school internships and stuff was all with that community mental health center there in Southwest Virginia, and this is not just, and in fact, what I was studying for, the reason I did master's work, I thought I was going to be a counselor and do grief counseling, right, loss counseling, right, and help people through this exact kind of thing. And so I was very excited when you guys, when NGBN and Ian and you guys all said, hey, you know what, this is a thing that we need to do.
Yeah.
And so I was very excited to see it. And I'm glad that we have this kind of stepping off point now to make it a bigger thing.
Well, we already saw a lot of dialogue from F3 guys, either across our Slack machine or even on the social media, sharing ideas and tips and let's do this next and let's do these things. And so
some of these guys legitimate, so I connected then with a guy who, we always jokingly say in F3, right, not a professional, right? I connected with a guy who is in fact a professional in mental health. That's his MAM, and that's what he does: suicide prevention and actually postvention as well. Working with folks where that has been a thing, right, is a huge thing for him. And I talked to him. I spent a little time with him on the phone the other day, talking about, hey, why don't we get you involved in the F3 battle?
Right.
And really start looking at not just look, Drop Thrill does an incredible job with that and keeping it top of mind and keeping it moving and keeping that dialogue open. And it would be really cool to maybe add some more to that, put a little more meat, even more meat on that bone to, as the kids say nowadays.
That's right.
James.
No one says it. They don't say it.
No,
I've never.
No, I say that. That's what a grad school professor once told me after I turned in my first master's level paper. And he basically threw it back at me and was like,
he said, JVR,
yeah, this isn't undergrad,
bad,
bro.
But you're going to need to put a little more meat on that bone.
A little more meat on the bone. He actually was one of the 0.2% of people who spend time in prison and then go on to earn a PhD.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
well, that's a story for another show.
He was an awesome dude. I hope he's still alive.
Nantan, let's talk about things going on in the F3 Nation. I do want to talk about Him Camp while we have you, because we saw a great video come through. We'll show that in a little bit because you're in the video. So maybe, but first and foremost, this is I love this time of year, right? Not everybody's coming out of winter and into spring, but most of us are. Right. We tend to see pretty nice spikes of FNG attendance. Right. Everybody remembers the spring recruiting class of 2017 across F3 cars.
How could you not?
We had some head hitters in that one.
Right. Legendary.
Bada Bing.
Right. I mean, he was 2017 as well. Right.
That's right.
So as we're coming into the spring, man, how are things from your purview and what's going on?
So you want to talk about Him Camp, or you want me to hit this?
No, we'll come back to Him Camp. We'll come back to Him Camp.
Well, let me hit some highlights for you. Some of the highlights are, and this is stuff that guys need to know because, it's like when you drive down the highway and you see those big signs, and it's like your tax dollars at work. You're like, thanks for inconveniencing
I'm gonna
me at my. And exactly right. So this isn't that, because obviously it's not a tax, and obviously it's a different thing, right? But we are starting to make some investments in some things here in about 2 maybe 3 weeks or so. You should see a full relaunch of our new F3 Nation website.
Yeah, excited about that,
which is pretty exciting. And we're going to be coming to you guys talking about some of the things that we have spent money on, some of the things we intend to spend money on, and some of that kind of stuff too. But big relaunch of the website, huge, a complete overhaul. Camo, who is our he's out of Katy, Texas. He is our head of leadership development for the nation. He is doing an amazing job with some coursework for Nantans and for post GTE type event stuff. And we're continuing to expand that. So some more of those kinds of things are going to be coming. And I got to tell you guys, we're very excited. We're considering a pilot program here soon, launching a slightly different way and focusing on training and equipping and teaching men in F3 Nation in a slightly different way than we have before. Yeah. Because again, what we realize is, and you've heard me talk about it a little bit, but as we kind of continue to travel down this road of complete and total missionality, anything that is not deadly on mission is going to be either eliminated or reduced. Some things I can't eliminate entirely. Like, I still got to pay these attorneys and these other people. I don't, I got to quote unquote keep the lights on, if you will. So can't eliminate everything. Right. But boy, we're also shopping everything too to see where can we reduce. Sure. How do we maximize what we've got, but also how do we basically eliminate anything that isn't what we would deem to be completely missional.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
So a lot of big changes coming over the next six months. Well, I tell you what, The announcement isn't here yet, so this is the pre-announcement to the pre-announcement, right? But a wholesale market change. Boy, I tell you what, toward the end of this year and beginning into 25, it's hardly going to look like the same place. It's hardly going to look like the same place. We're going to be accelerating men at a rate that is absolutely unheard of.
Man, well, love it, and that speaks to a need to be able to do it right, and without compromising those 5 core principles, right? Unchanging, untethered, right? Unapologetic to those 5. But it doesn't mean you can't adjust the way in which the organization is looking at getting this thing out and actually getting to some accelerating, right? And putting some of those pieces in place, which is cool. If you guys have questions, you're watching on social media for
I'm ready for your questions.
He's ready. Pop them in there. So pop those questions in.
What was that? Go ahead, Bridgekeeper. Ask me your question. I'm not afraid. Right? What is your name?
What is your quest? What is the flight velocity of a newt? of a swallow?
Of an unladen sparrow in flight, or a swallow? Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah.
Well, if it's an African swallow, it's totally different. Everybody knows.
That's true.
Crap.
Man.
So ask anything, throw it up there in the social chats and whatnot. And while you're doing that, while you're thinking of things, and if you want some specifics, look, the other thing about this is Slaughter started a really great tradition, if you will, of transparency. And we intend to be even more transparent, right? To really, really open it up and make sure that it's super clear, and to kind of continue and deepen that as well. So I guess I say that just to say, ain't nothing off the table, right? Ask me whatever you like. It could be anything. Doesn't matter. But while you're kind of thinking through that and figuring out, hey, what do I want to ask Helmet? Or what do I want to know about how the nation's growing? Or what do I want to know about, any of those kinds of things? I'm just going to hit on Him Camp.
Please.
Yeah.
So there's this great little facility that is tucked away in the mountains of Southwest Virginia. It's actually a PAX down in Fort Mill, where it's kind of my home region. And it's he does first responder, disaster recovery kind of stuff in a very missional way. And he's got this camp and he does all these trainings up there. And a year ago, he was like, hey, we should all go up and have Him Camp. And so a bunch of guys from our region went up and had a really good time. And they did some really cool stuff. Like they did like active shooter training. They did some other kinds of like, first responder type training and stuff. I mean, some really cool stuff. They had like, I can't remember if it was pigs or what, but they full on like stitched stuff up. Like it was like, hey, here's how you would feel, in the field, put yourself back together kind of thing. It was bananas.
Well, the hog flesh is the most like a human.
So I hear. But so some really cool stuff there. And he said, hey, we want to do this again. And he came to me and he said, what if we opened this up past just, Fort? And we opened up and said, hey, any region nearby, if you're kind of new to F3 and you haven't ever been to a large-ish event, certainly anything outside your region, you're obviously very welcome. And the information on all this and kind of where you can register, they are capping it this year. They're only going to have 50 guys that are
nice
able to go.
Well, why don't we? I'll tell you what. Let's watch this. Right?
Oh, sure.
A special video about. Let's watch it, and then we'll tell them a little bit more about where they can find out about it. This is Him Camp.
Well, that was it. All right, then. Good.
If you guys didn't catch all of that, you can find it in the.
Pax, Dark Helmet here, the Nantan. Listen, we have an opportunity for you to up the intensity of your life as a man. We did one of these last year. We're doing it again this year. This is Him Camp 2. This is going to be where you take yourself to the next level, bond with men. This is peak F3. So get yourself together and get it to Him Camp, all right?
Like, hold on, let me look at the calendar. June 21st.
Yeah,
that looks outstanding.
Video.
It should be good. It should be good. And actually, that's their guy there at the Crisis Response International Base. I think that does those videos too. So he took some footage that we had shot and put that all together. Anyway, but yeah, so middle of June or end of June rather, we're gonna do. He said this year we're gonna do with airsoft guns. And it's so funny the way he says it. He's like, I mean, obviously airsoft guns. I'm like, oh, you're not going to no live ammo in this training? Gosh, what a chip, right? Yeah, no, exactly. He was like, that's the only way I did it.
Yeah. Let's leave that question up there for a second. We'll pop in. Right. We'll come back to when F3 was simply a thought. did you imagine it would become a worldwide phenomenon? Great question.
That's a
S2
good
trilogy.
I will answer. I'll answer this question two ways. One, it wasn't my thought, right? It wasn't my thought. It was come up with by a couple of other guys who we lovingly call Dread and OBT, Dave Redding and Tim Whitmire. They were the original founders, and really Dave kind of was the charge on that to start F3. And I'm just a guy that's kind of coming in, standing on the shoulders of the giants before me, right? And it's just my turn to try and figure out what's the next direction, how do we maximize on where we are now, and how to grow it and to increase the movement going in the future. So with that as a caveat, I will answer it the same way that Dave always answers it, and that is, of course, it's going exactly as I planned.
I can just hear his voice, like his tone of that.
Yeah. Which is the biggest lie ever. I think what happened was, like with anything, you try a little something and it kind of works, and you try a little something and it kind of works, and you kind of keep the things that work, and then you throw away the things that don't. And then pretty soon what makes this thing magical, it made it magical for me, and I think it makes it magical for every man who finds himself at an F3 workout, and that is, you lived your life to a certain point, you chased all the things that the world told you to do. You made a checklist according to their dictates, and you started checking things off that list, and you got down to the end of that day sometime in your mid 30s, early 40s, and you said, plopping yourself down on the couch at night, is this all there is?
Yeah.
Is this what I'm for? To earn some money and to, and hopefully die and my last check clears kind of thing. And I think what F3 does is it brings us back to more of our raw masculine self. It puts us in community with one another and helps us understand that we have a greater purpose. We are for something more. And as soon as guys started realizing that and started tapping into that, I mean, that's why I think, to be honest, we look at our mission, we look at what we're trying to do as far as leadership, because that's where everything rises and falls, is on leadership. And so we are trying to train, teach, and equip men to be better leaders. And if we're able to do that in a more, deliberate and on a greater scale, you say a worldwide phenomenon, hold tight, biggin. 100,000? Nah, come on, man. That's chump change, right? We're not even started yet. This is Bush League, right? We are just getting started. And the thing about it is, it's not going to be just, here's, tens of thousands of men who have come through and worked out with us once or twice, and then we're like, meh, right? No, these are going to be men who are trained, who are taught, and who are equipped, who can say, I know what my purpose is. I know why I exist. And now, since I know, I intend to go and find those who don't know, and to teach them, and to lean in, and to lead them, and teach them how to lead others, and so on and so on and so on, and become a perpetual legacy building leadership machine.
Yeah. Well said. Great question. And well said answer. Brother, anything else you need to address to the men? Anything else to leave with them before we let you go?
I will say this before let me just leave you with one item. No, I'm just kidding. I love doing a JV. I think it's slipping. I think
you
it's
love
slipping.
it. Well, I mean,
I think it has seen a better day.
You've been very well practiced for a while. That's the problem. And you fed off.
That is true. We
don't. Right.
We never talk anymore.
I know, it's so sad. No, but here's what I'll say is, gentlemen, the work that we have been doing, not at the nation level, but all the men in the parking lots and in the wherever we are, the parks and so on, right? The work that we've been doing is amazing. The results that we're seeing, the impact that we feel like we're having on people, on men, and then subsequently their communities, their families, is huge. And I guess the only thing I would leave with you for this week is, boy, go ahead and press that gas a little bit. This car is built pretty solid. It doesn't have a shimmy around 85 or anything like that. So you can go ahead and press that gas a little harder, because we're getting ready to do some things that are going to really blow this thing wide open. So I'm pretty excited. So stay tuned.
Now is the time for acceleration.
Indeed.
Yeah, well said. All right, my brother. We'll catch you later, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks, fellas.
Peace. Frank Schwartz, better known as Dark Helmet in the F3 Goon. We need a break, dude. We're up against it.
I'm feeling we're 9 minutes in.
Let's grab one. We got plenty more to get to when we get back. Let's take that first one. We'll be right back in a matter of moments.
The 5 core principles of S3 are that it's free, it's open to all men, it's held outdoors, rain or shine, peer-led in a rotating fashion, and always ends in a circle of trust.
Welcome to Family Farms, where our culinary journey is woven with passion, dedication, and a commitment to crafting the finest bacon-wrapped chicken, a timeless delicacy that has tantalized the taste buds since 1974. At Family Farms, we're more than just a traditional name. We've evolved into purveyors of gourmet delights. Join us on this flavorful adventure, where every bite tells a story of tradition, quality, and the enduring spirit of Family Farms.
Back in the good old days, we used to have these large yellow books delivered right to our doorstep that gave us phone numbers of businesses and services that could meet our needs. The only problem is, we didn't know if we could trust any of them. Well, thanks to F3, we are connected with incredible PACs in our local communities. But what we don't necessarily have is a listing of the businesses of those PACs. Introducing the F3 Warrior Biz Network, where you can connect with PACs in your local community or from coast to coast throughout this great nation. You can connect with other biz PACs to meet your needs, or if you're a business owner, you can register your own business so that other PACs know about the services that you provide. Through the Warrior Biz Network, you have reliability and you have connectivity, and you can sign up today to represent your business or to find other businesses that you can trust. Join the Warrior Biz Network today at warriorbiznetwork.com.
Welcome back to the F3 Circle of Trust, talking all things fitness, fellowship, and faith. Your boy Hello Kitty and Rapido checking in with you guys as we're talking about news of the F3 Nation. Had Dark Helmet on before the break. That Warrior Biz Network code is COT when you go sign up. I got to tell you, man, drop the Pick Up the Six Productions business in there and able to share content that way.
That's
and
cool.
I think it's just going to be a great way to be able to find guys that, look, we should want to do business together, right? Trust these guys across the gloom. We've got a biz networking channel in our personal Slack, but why not go bigger, right? Take this thing across the F3 Nation. You know what I'm saying?
And outward facing as opposed to like you mentioned, the Slack channel that's inward facing.
That's right. Horton, you're exactly right. Rapido needs a $3 pimento cheese sandwich to go with that.
Rapido already had basically what amounted to a $7 or $8 pimento cheese sandwich with added a little ham on the Wonder Bread with a little Duke's mayo. So.
Whoa, big fella. Let's go. Your high protein diet yesterday pales in comparison to
I've been setting myself up for this weekend, all 3 days. So I did the fast last week.
Yeah, you know what we didn't get to talk about was your reaction. You were still sort of in the middle. You still had a few hours to go when you were on the air. By the way, you had Red Baron dying laughing. Dying. He's like, he seems a little off. I was like, yeah, man. He had 10 hours to go in a fast. So they were
when we recorded last week, I still had to get to Friday morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So how did it finish out for you?
Finished out great.
Dying to know.
No issues during the fast. I broke the fast with a little granola yogurt and blueberries, and that was great. And then I got in the car to go to the beach, and OIB is about what, a 3 hours, 3.5 hour drive.
If you're having yep.
We stopped in Benson to get barbecue.
Yep.
Big mistake.
So I was, I've been following all of the local guys' journey through the Carpex Wellness Channel, and it seemed as if, how do I say this? The floodgates for many of the PACs upon completion of the 72 hours, once they started eating again, done wide open.
Let's just say that 3 hour trip took about 6.5.
Oh my God.
With the number of stops for your boy. So I didn't have to buy an apartment, a new interior. Felt great. Nothing was wrong. It's just, let's just say if you're going to do the 72 and then ease back into some food that may or may not contain spice or grease, you might want to be at the home facilities. Plan to be on the home turf.
On your home turf
for a couple of days. But
God loved Bert's Plumbing at the Beach.
Yeah, and there's other places on 40 and 117. But
how many Bojangles can you take a dump in between Cary and Ocean Isle Beach?
Well, another one was we had to stop and charge up Bartman's EV.
Oh God,
the facilities at the Mad Boar down there also got abused. But there were two guys finishing it this morning. Highlighter and Bartman started theirs this week after hearing all the chatter from last week. So a lot of guys here locally, probably close to 30 guys in our little super region have done it in the last couple of weeks and seen a lot of transformation. I've used it as a jumping board and a springboard into better eating, better choices.
Yeah, it
better
seemed like that by some of the stuff you were texting me this week, man.
Until the pimento cheese today.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? You'll be all right.
We all fall off the wagon once in a while, Brian.
You are an athlete. Hey, we wanted to talk about this before the break, but we were up against on time. So got to give a shout out to the men of F3 Princeton who have a big anniversary coming up and excited for them. Princeton, 5 years.
Dos Equis in that photo? I can't see.
Dos Equis has got to be in that photo.
Always
I'd have to squint a little. The dose abides. Anyways, happy 5 years coming up this weekend. It's hard to believe it's been 5 since the boys of Princeton got going. So love that. Congratulations to them and great work. Did you know? Now listen, he used to be a mainstay of this show. And I think you and I have made peace with the fact that he's never coming back.
I don't
as hard as that is to say. Peace. I don't either. But Gnarly Goat used to frequent these very airwaves when we were just a measly podcast. And I don't know if he feels like we've gone big time, or maybe he's gone big time, or maybe he's just out saving the world, which is something Goat does. And then it's excusable. But I did stumble across, and you saw this as well, on the social media machine. Did you know that the gnarliest of all goats, Robert J. Cannon, is also an artiste? Did you know this?
Well, not before this.
Right. So check out this artwork. And I think we got to give credit to Drop Thrill for sharing this across the Twitter machine. But the goat himself, Bleep Bleep, shared this amazing little watercolor he made.
I was going to say, that's got to be a watercolor.
Right. So you can see it's the Circle of Trust. Leave no man where you found him. No Oyo. Pick up the 6 like that. COT March 9, 2024. I mean, that's pretty cool, right?
I think we should auction that off or something.
I think we should make reprints of that.
I
would
put
buy
it on
that.
a shirt.
Well, let's put that back up there, Maxwell, real quick. Let's see that one more time. I don't know that it's shirt. We got enough shirts. I want that in my office.
Yeah, it would look good hanging on the wall.
It'd look really good in my downstairs bathroom as I see it before I head out to the workout in the morning. Either way, I like it, man.
There was something recently where I might have been on X, Twitter, whatever. He did something and I sent him a message. I was like, I don't know what you're doing, but a goat rep would be of the I-77 corridor would be most welcome anytime you'd like to call in that number that you used to call.
Right. And by the way, that number still is in existence. It's 844-4COT-PAX. So not only do we air your videos that you send us through email or through other machines, but you can still call that hotline. Guys, it's there. It ain't changed since we left the audio waves and bring it to your ears and your eyes. 844-4COT-PAX. You can get in there. You got 3 minutes to do it. Leave us a message. Let us know what's going on in your region. We will play it on these very airwaves. Oh, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Good stuff. All right. We need another quick break.
Are we going to do another quick one before we
I think we are. I think we are.
Stretch here?
I think we're going to do another quick break. We're going to hit the home stretch. We're going to talk about the hunt for wellness. I see Hammer Time in the green room, but I don't know what his status is. Is Hammer Time an actual person, and is he there? Let's check during the commercial break. We'll find out.
Is he wearing?
Right, get tough. We'll find out if he actually is there. Maybe we'll bring him in. So, Max, let's do a quick commercial, and then when we come back, we'll do Hunt for Wellness, quote worth repeato. We'll round out the show, and we'll see if Hammer Time is legit.
Welcome to F3, Fitness, Fellowship, and Faith, where men come together for something more than just a workout. Our core principles define us: free of charge, open to all men, held outdoors, peer-led, and end in a circle of trust. Whether you want to run, lift heavy things, or focus on bodyweight exercises, F3 has over 4,000 workouts available worldwide. Join us, experience the camaraderie, the challenge, and the transformation of F3, where men can get right so that they can lead right.
Hi, Joel Maurer, founder of Dink Ninjas. Dink Ninjas was dreamed up and started right here in Austin, Texas, a dynamic pickleball community. We arm pickleballers with the paddles, apparel, and accessories to dink like a ninja. Dink Ninjas is dedicated to supporting mental health awareness and cancer research. Shop our full lineup at dinkninjas.com and enter code NGBNTV for 10% off site-wide.
Back in the good old days, we used to have these large yellow books delivered right to our doorstep that gave us phone numbers of businesses and services that could meet our needs. The only problem is, we didn't know if we could trust any of them. Well, thanks to F3, we are connected with incredible PACs in our local communities. But what we don't necessarily have is a listing of the businesses of those PACs. Introducing the F3 Warrior Biz Network, where you can connect with PACs in your local community or from coast to coast throughout this great nation. You can connect with other biz PACs to meet your needs, or if you're a business owner, you can register your own business so that other PACs know about the services that you provide. Through the Warrior Biz Network, you have reliability and you have connectivity, and you can sign up today to represent your business or to find other businesses that you can trust. Join the Warrior Biz Network today at warriorbiznetwork.com.
Here's what we'll do as we're live on the air. HT, I see you are commenting on social media that you're here. We don't see you. So if you, because I can see you in the green room, if you are here, and I believe it's Hammer Time from Peachtree City, the Foxhole. If you are here and you want to jump on the show, turn your camera on, and then we'll know that you are available. But if not, then we can't. You know what I'm saying? That's the way that works. In the meantime, my friend, we've got the always waited for. We're not at the often, highly anticipated, never duplicated quote with Rapido.
Thresholds.
Right. But we are with our man, Dr. Tunis Hunt, better known as Bones in the F3 Gloom, because he's great at talking wellness and getting you guys dialed up for what you need. Last week, we were talking about all that pollen in the air and how you attack it. Well, this week, Dr. Bones is talking about you got to get some sleep, man. You got to get that rack time, right?
I wish.
Because, well, yours is often disturbed. You are a disturbed person.
I am, because of the disturbance in my sleep.
So the question is, you got an early morning workout, starts at 5:30, up and out. What's the optimal bedtime? That's what Bones is talking about this week.
It's another great day for wellness. This is Bones with a health tip for the PACs of F3 Nation. And today we're going to be diving into whether or not there's an optimal time to go to bed. When it comes to performing your best in the gloom, nothing plays a bigger role than the rest and recovery that you had prior to posting. In other words, how well you slept the night before. Sleep is important to our health. It's our body's opportunity to recover from the strain and stress that we put on it during the day. Failure to allow enough time for sleep, or if your sleep is poor, will result in fatigue, loss of motivation, and an overall decrease in performance. Implementing strategies to improve your quality of sleep is one of the most impactful ways of improving your overall health. And although there are plenty of strategies to begin implementing, one that is at the top of the list is your bedtime. When you choose to go to bed each night has a significant impact on both the quality of sleep you have and the benefits you gain from it. There is a biological clock in your body called the circadian rhythm. This rhythm is responsible for how energetic and tired you feel throughout the day and night. Timing your sleep pattern around this rhythm is extremely important for maximizing your sleeping benefits. So when should you plan to go to bed to optimize your sleep? Research shows that the best time to go to bed is between 9 and 10 p.m. It turns out that you want to be in a deep state of restorative sleep with the energy spike of your circadian rhythm at approximately 12 a.m. And because it takes approximately 2 hours for your body to reach a deep restorative sleep state and begin REM cycles, going to bed by 10 a.m. will allow you to time it perfectly. In fact, it is believed that every hour of sleep before midnight is worth 2 hours of sleep after midnight. Consistency also plays a huge role in your ability to fall asleep and the quality of sleep you get. Your body prefers to go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day. This is why it's important to stick to your bedtime on most days, and why waking up early on the weekends will actually give you more energy than sleeping in. So PAX, maximize your health by optimizing your sleep. Sync up with your circadian rhythm by consistently going to bed by 10 p.m. so that you are ready to accelerate your king in the gloom. Kitty and Rapido, I know you boys like an early bedtime. Keep up the good work, man. This has been Bones guiding the PAX of F3 Nation on their hunt for wellness. Gotta go.
Man, I just love those videos.
He's doing so good.
He's doing great. I love
Crushing it.
Listen, man, what are the chances that two guys named Hammer Time are watching this show at the exact same time? That's happening.
Is that what's going on in the background?
Yes.
I can't see the background.
There's M. Kent and there's Steve Flores. They're both called Hammer Time, and one of them joins the show. So let's bring him in here. Hammer Time, which one are we?
There he is.
I have no clue how I actually joined it.
You're here, but you're here. So which one are you? Are you M. Kent or are you S. Flores?
I'm M. Kent.
M. Kent. What's
Yes.
the M? What's the M stand for?
Michael.
Michael Kent. Where are you from, bro?
Originally, I'm from Anderson, South Carolina.
But where do you post now for F3?
I'm actually in Peachtree City, in Rochester, Atlanta.
Okay. What's going on there? Tell us about your region. How long you been doing F3?
I've been doing F3 just over 2 years now.
Nice.
And pretty much I was watching Newsmax. Caught a guy on there covering F3.
Yeah.
And decided just to show up.
Do you guys remember the story where the guy went and did a whole workout with the guys? I think they were down in Houston.
That's
right?
correct.
And that's
Yep.
exactly what it was. So you saw that caught your eye.
Yep.
And you're like, I got to go check this thing out.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty much what I did. And I actually live 40 miles from here.
Whoa.
So I work here in Peachtree City, but I live 40 miles from here. So
Okay.
I drive in Peachtree City, work out in the morning, then grab me a shower and head to work.
Head to work.
Yep.
Dude, that's exciting, man.
Fantastic.
I
Well,
love
thanks
it.
for joining the show.
Yeah. Why do they call you Hammer Time?
One of my first concerts.
MC Hammer.
MC Hammer.
That's amazing.
Oh,
That's
that
awesome.
is good, man.
What are you doing now? Where are you at? Are you at work?
I'm actually at work.
What's work?
Work is the Sigvaris group.
Okay.
I don't know why my camera's kind of fuzzy there.
I don't know. We just lost you, but we got Calvin and Hobbes getting after it in the background. So I know I enjoy that. And I know I got a PAX on the show whose son enjoys some Calvin and Hobbes.
My boy is big on Hobbs. He was Hobbs for
Yes, he was.
Halloween last year.
Hey, so tell us about what the guys at Peachtree City are up to. What's that F3 region like, right? What are the mornings like there?
The mornings are pretty active. Of course, like y'all were saying, it's getting back into spring and summer. So we're picking up our numbers. We generally have about currently between 18 and 25 people show up in the mornings. We've got the group has worked set up at 5 different locations in this area. I attend at least 2 of those areas. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the Foxhole, and then on Tuesday and Thursdays is the Crow's Nest.
Nice.
So
Oh,
we
man,
have
well,
two
thanks
different-
for dialing in, bro, and sharing your story with us.
Oh, thank you.
Good
Appreciate
stuff.
it.
Yeah, we'll
Great
catch
to
you
see
later. Mike Flores.
Mike Flores out of Austin, I think I saw, right?
Something. Or Mike, whatever. Mike.
No,
Kent.
that guy
Yeah.
was Peachtree. The other Hammer Time said Austin. That was Flores. Yeah,
It's wild though that two guys named Hammer Time are tuning
that
in
is
at the same
pretty.
exact time.
That's got to be. Yeah,
Of all
I mean
the
that
names?
is pretty rare. Of all the names, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Wild stuff.
What's your optimal bedtime?
10 p.m.
10. Yeah.
10 to 5.
Right.
10 to 5. Right. If I'm up and hitting the 5:30 workout, it's 10 to 5.
Yeah. I'm
Right.
with him
And
on.
maybe, and honestly, if I can get on the left side of 10, the better.
Exactly.
9:30,
Earlier the better.
9:45. But it's probably most nights 10 to 5.
Yeah.
Depending on what's
I'm
going
right
on.
there with you. If we get everything
Yeah.
settled for the one night
Mhm.
and into the next
Situated.
morning.
Mhm,
So
mhm. Yep. All right, bro. Hit him with the quote worth repeato before we wrap this show
the
up.
venerable quote worth repeated this week. So I don't know. A lot of our audience are likely into rucking. If you're into F3, rucking probably crosses your timeline at some point. But also with the amount of folks that are into trail running and distance running and ultra running as well, is a big part of F3 culture, not just Carpex, but across the region. And so Another guy outside of all that I follow that I think is a pretty cool dude is a guy named Cam Haynes. He's a bow hunter. He's been on Rogan quite a bit. He's been done a lot with Steve Ranella and Meat Eater. He's got an old product line in his shoe and probably supplements and all kinds of other stuff. And he's doing a new I don't know, you're in the business more than I am. What this called this like partnership, I guess, with Go Ruck. He's got his own sort of camo color coming out on a few different items and stuff, and that dropped this week.
I gotta give Go Ruck credit, man. I feel like everywhere I look, guys that I follow, and maybe it's just the way it is, are wearing more Go Ruck. I saw Tim Kennedy in Go Ruck branded gear. Now you got, I mean, Cam is about as big as an outdoorsman in that game as you're going to get.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's pretty incredible. And in fact, he had a thing going with Under Armour for years. Dropped that.
Yeah.
Oh man, good for Go Ruck if they can get in that space a little bit.
And so I can't remember if it was precisely a Go Ruck ad or a video teaser or for something else, but they were doing some things where he practices bow hunting every day. Like that's his craft, right?
Yeah.
Gets dialed in and he's like shooting arrows 150 yards straight down his driveway between like his truck and his house. It's pretty cool. Amongst a larger piece of property in the back. And anyway, he's talking about process and he's talking about the things that it takes to be great and to do great things. And he said something very simple that stuck with me. And so I wrote it down for this week. And that is what you do in the dark matters.
Oh yeah. Oh, I like it.
And we've heard people
that means a lot, but that means a lot of things, I think.
It means a ton of things. It specifically means a lot of stuff for the men of F3 Nation who get up and work out before the sun rises or doing endurance races and things overnight, and BRRs, all those kind of relay races and other things. But more so beyond that, what you do in the dark matters for what people don't see, the work that you're putting in. People don't see the things you're doing to try to elevate yourself and those around you in your household, your workplace, your community, your F3 region. And you should remind yourself and give yourself grace on a lot of things when things are feeling like the waves are crashing or there's other things going on. You're working in the dark, and what you're doing in that point to better yourself and to better your craft and to better what you're striving to achieve, all of that matters.
Okay. I'm going to see your point. I'm going to go in an opposite direction though, too.
Please.
And I do firmly believe you must rise with the sun if you want to soar with the eagles. So get up in the dark and get going. Boom.
Sure.
What you do in the dark matters. What you do when you think no one's watching.
Right.
I'm not talking, you're talking about accountability on improvement. I'm talking about the stuff you'd be ashamed that other people would know that you do.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, totally
so I think
agree.
it goes that way too. What you do in the dark, well, nobody's going to know. It matters. Right. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 6-word statement that I think carries a ton of weight, especially with our guys. I think a lot of guys are like, dude, that's a great quote, right? What you do in the dark of morning, dark of night, during an overnight or an early morning workout does. What you do when no one's looking to improve yourself, but what you do when no one's looking to let yourself backslide matters too. Right. So there's some other level of accountability there.
I think too, it speaks to me as well in like that extra effort.
Okay. I like it.
Right. Like you can work your 8 to 5, but are you really accelerating yourself in your job if you're not putting in some extra hours in the evening after the kids go to bed, or when you've got a piece of downtime during the weekend, or other opportune times that are not just in that normal workout?
Well, yeah. And part of it is like, what are your goals and where are you willing to sacrifice to get there?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to run a sub-3. I'm not saying I want to do this sub-3 marathon. That is going to take a massive sacrifice to be able to do.
If you can find 26 miles downhill.
Yeah.
I'll
you're in for that. Dave Bradley, your point was my point. I think Dave Bradley, what you just posted, he said God always knows, right? Sky, right? Sky Q always. So that was kind of my point.
Sure.
Right. There's always something, but it's a great way to look at it. And Cam Haynes is about as hard a charger as you're going to get. But is also, I think, through, at least from what I can tell, I'm on the outside looking in, but through his gained popularity and exposure, it seems to me like he stayed true to his ethos, ideology, and his hard work ethic. I think that's what's separates.
Yeah, I feel like as far as my exposure to him and how long I've been aware of who he is or following him, I feel like I've seen the same Cam. Maybe others might disagree, but I've enjoyed his content on social media. I've enjoyed listening to his long form stuff with folks like Rogan and others.
Totally.
So I'll continue to be a fan. Maybe I'll even buy some merch. I don't know.
Yeah, do it.
His shoes are a little out of my price range.
Shoes are wild, but they're also supposed to be really incredibly comfortable. They're those Sauconys with those speed locks on them.
Yeah.
Guys have them, like your foot stays right in there.
Pretty dope. Yeah.
Yep. What a great show, man. Listen, guys, join us every single week. We're here every Thursday. That's our intent. We might move the show at some point, but every Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern. You can always catch us on demand at NGBN TV and across the F3 Facebook and YouTube channels. And we're just grateful that you carve out some time to join us. And you can always send us an email, cot@f3nation.com, or be part of the show by calling us at 844-4COT-PAX. It's how you get on these airwaves with us, because we love to have you sharing what's happening. We do a pretty good job of collecting that info, but you can always get in our inbox or in the voicemail, and you can be part of the show with us. Love you, bro.
Love you too, man.
Hey, to the men of F3 Nation, if another man hasn't told you to stay, we love you. See you next week.
This has been the Circle of Trust. Whether you're watching on NGBN TV or across the F3 Nation platforms, be sure to rate, review, and share our show. And download the NGBN TV app today on your favorite streaming device.
I'm Brian Jodas, 42. Hello, Kitty.
And I'm Jamie Roseborough, 40. Repeato.
And this has been the Circle of Trust.